Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm gonna just talk and just ramble on a bunch of variety of topics. As I watch the New York Jets versus the Buffalo Bills up in the background. Look, man, I'm not gonna lie. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna be a bust. I didn't really like what I saw from him last year as a like a totality of a season. In fact, I haven't been liking Aaron Rodgers the couple of years that I've seen him, especially against the Niners. I think he'll be a bust. I know that he just got injured or something going on there when he took that sack from number 54 or got hit. Um, I think the Jets are going to be the favorite in that division, but not because of Aaron Rodgers. I just believe they have the better team overall. I know everybody's big on Josh Allen. I also think that with Von Miller, once he comes back, I think the Bills defense were always going to keep them in their games. But I think, yes, sir, down goes Rodgers. Yeah, man. Like I was saying just like 5 seconds ago, I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna hurt the New York Jets. I think they're better off without him. I could be wrong. Maybe he has an amazing connection with the receiver Garrett Wilson and Alan Lazard, but honestly, I just feel like who the Jets are, especially with Brees Hall and Dalvin Cook, just run it down people's throats. You see, a guy like Marcus Mariota could make the Jets into a playoff team and have a good playoff run. That's just how talented I believe that team is, bro. Aaron Rodgers at the age of 40, bro, you can find better, younger talent than him. I know Aaron Rodgers is a big name and he's supposed to be the missing piece, like a savior for the Jets, but I don't think so, man. Again, when I've seen him against the 49ers in the past year and the year in the snow, he was missing a lot of reads and he was scared of the moment. Like he was scared to get hit. And which only makes sense because he's 40 years old. It looked like a statue out there. Wilson came in slinging it. Yeah, man. Like, that's the thing. Like, I believe Wilson is going to be, as long as you run the ball with the Jets and then put Wilson just in game managing situations, kind of like Jimmy G, and let Wilson just impress you with his legs. Because Wilson is better than Daniel Jones from the New York Giants, who they just got smacked by the Cowboys last night. Okay? As long as you run it with Brees Hall and Dalvin Cook, there's no way they should beat the Buffalo Bills. And the Buffalo Bills have an amazing defensive line, secondary, Micah Hyde, the number one corner. It just stacked, bro. They just stacked. But look, man, like I said, I'm just gonna ramble on a bunch of stuff and a bunch of topics. I'm gonna talk about boxing. I'm gonna talk about football and everything. I know the thumbnail is about Trey Lance and will it come and haunt us later in the end. And the reason I say that is I'm not too concerned about the trade that the Niners gave to the Cowboys. But one of the things that I'm concerned about is those 3 first-round picks that the Niners could have had, right? Because we gave out an arm and a leg to move up in the draft to get Trey Lance, right? And I just feel like if I look at those 3 first-rounders that we could have had from the day we got Trey Lance, I wonder what players the Niners could have had in addition to the roster that we have now. We would have been much more talented. There would have been better competition. Maybe we would have another amazing corner on the other end of Chadarius Ward. Maybe have another linebacker to help out Fred Warner or Dre Greenlaw in case they get hurt. Maybe another offensive lineman, because that's one of the Niners' weakness, in my opinion, is the offensive line. So I'm just thinking, like, because we don't have those 3 first-rounders in the past 3 years, will it come to bite us later on? And also feel like this. When we moved up to get Trey Lance, I feel like we moved away from him relatively quick. Now, I know Brock Purdy is amazing, and he's been showing in terms of the time that he's on the field that he is the real deal. But we don't ever truly know what we have in Trey Lance. I mean, you got to understand, he's the same age or maybe a year younger than Brock Purdy. We drafted him when he was 19, 20 years old. So we knew he was a project. So the minute we got him and gave everything for him, the expectations of in that position, I'm going to be that guy that's going to take the completed team of the Niners into the Super Bowl. he was already destined to fail, right? There was essentially no upside because you take him as a first rounder. Again, I have a different philosophy from a lot of these general managers. Unless you're Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, unless you already established and have a pro system coming out and you're that guy, then I feel like you can always find a steal later on into the draft. I don't feel like a lot of these quarterbacks are first round talent. And it's just the way that the league has been tailoring the rules just to fit the quarterbacks. I just don't feel that a lot of these quarterbacks are as great as they are. I feel like the NFL teams waste their first round on a quarterback too loosely. And I also feel that they overpay their quarterbacks and give them over 100 million plus or 200 million plus too loosely. Like the way I've always looked at teams, and like especially the ones that have extreme success, I always feel like you build from within, right? From the inside and then out. If you have an amazing D line, you can tell the corners, jam them up, be very aggressive. You're gonna get the interceptions. If you can block and you have an amazing offensive line, you can run the ball and you can buy your QB time, right? Because he's not feeling the pressure. And here's another thing, going back to that philosophy. The Niners have an amazing team. All right. Like honestly, if you look at who we have, we not only do we have a lot of first rounders, we have a lot of all-pro players at every single position. We have an all-pro tight end, Kittle, an all-pro running back, Christian McCaffrey. We have an all-pro receiver, right? Not only in Brandon Ayuk, who has the potential to be an amazing receiver, but Deebo Samuel. At every single position, we either have a Pro Bowler or a first rounder. Look at the defensive side of the ball. We have Nick Bosa, first rounder. Eric Armstead, first rounder. Linebackers, all pro or first rounders. Safeties, it's the same thing. Same thing with the corners. They're all pro at every single position. Tre'Davious Ward, all pro. Hufanga, all pro. Middle linebacker, Fred Warner, all pro. Nick Bosa, D-line, all pro. So you have an all pro in every single position, and yet we still can't win the big ship. Because when I look at the Chiefs, they don't have that same luxury. They just got Mahomes. And that Mahomes is better than all those all pros that the Niners have on the roster. That's absurd to me. That's crazy, right? Like you need all these all pros. And last year, the Chiefs still fucked us up. They spanked us, bro. And it was on Mahomes. Mecole Hardman looked like he was an all-star. And Mecole Hardman ain't that dude. So it's crazy how a quarterback can just pick you apart. And unless that quarterback is Mahomes, then you shell out the bag, $1 billion contract on him. Then you move up 3 first 5 rounders to get that guy. Anyway, that's just what I look at it like that. So I feel like when it comes down to the Niners, I feel if we don't win the ship, at a boy, Quint Williams, we just sack Josh Allen, bro. It wasn't even Quint Williams. It's like Franklin Myers. I just feel like, man, I don't know. At least when it comes down to football. But on that topic, the Niners, the Cowboys, the Saints, the Eagles, the Lions, those are the teams that are going to be representing the NFC. Unless people get injured, right? But it's going to be Dallas and it should be Dallas and Niners representing the NFC. They're the most complete and stacked teams. But I think the Saints will have the best record, mainly because they have the softest schedule. If you look at the New Orleans Saints' schedule, bro, they like their whole division sucks. The Atlanta Falcons, I mean, they might be under 500 or maybe 500 at best. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they shouldn't be that good. They have a great defense. They got some great players on the offensive side. But I'm like, bro, your quarterback is Baker Mayfield. He's just a tiny bit better than like Johnny Manziel. Well, in terms of the NFL, Baker's amazing if you compare him to Johnny Manziel, but it's essentially like the same persona. Burrow got paid and laid an egg yesterday. Yeah, man, that's another thing. It's like with Joe Burrow, I'm not saying Joe Burrow isn't amazing. He clearly is a really good quarterback, but he has 3 first rounders as receivers and a first round running back in Joe Mixon. Like Jamar Chase, first rounder. T. Higgins, I believe he came from Alabama or one of those top tier receiving schools. That guy was like a first rounder or a second rounder. And then you have Tyler. What's the other receiver? He's like the slot receiver, Tyler Boyd. He's also a really good receiver. So when I look at who Joe Burrow has, that's not on the offensive side, the offensive line, because their offensive line sucks. But when I look at what they have, it's like, damn, bro, you paid Joe Burrow all this money. Good luck trying to protect them. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing with Daniel Jones. Like, bro, you guys paid Daniel Jones all this money, but you know the whole offense is Saquon Barkley, right? So get Barkley an offensive line, get him some people that can block, and then get Barkley like a dope ass, backup running back. That's your team runs around Barkley. It does not run around Daniel Jones. So if I'm Saquon Barkley, bro, I'm like, this is the whole thing with the NFL. It's like they throw this money around too loosely and draft picks to get that guy at quarterback. And you don't need, it's crazy, bro. Like if you look at the best quarterbacks in the NFL, right? Most of them aren't first rounders. Like Brock Purdy wasn't a first rounder. Tom Brady wasn't a first rounder. Peyton Manning was. Patrick Mahomes was a second or a third rounder. The best ones aren't the first rounders, man. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. And then here's another thing. When you pay these dudes, they already got the bag. So their incentive of dominating, it's like, I don't really care. This shit's guaranteed. I remember when the Raiders paid all that money to Jamarcus Russell. It's like, bro, just because he has a big arms don't mean nothing. Like you need precision, you need situational awareness, you need game managing, you need that killer instinct, you need to be able to read defenses. All that is more cerebral, right? Anyway, bro, I just want to look at it football. But going back to the AFC, I believe the AFC teams are very loaded. I think it'll be the Dolphins, mainly because of the weapons that they have on offense and if Tua can get healthy. But the Dolphins also picked up the Niners ex-head coach on the defensive side of the ball, Vic Fangio. All right. Vic Fangio was during the Jim Harbaugh era. He was a defensive coordinator. The Dolphins right now are going to be the team to beat. And I feel like Vic Fangio is going to have a lot of fun being the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins. As long as Tua doesn't get hurt, I think we got an opportunity to see the Dolphins excel, especially Tyreek Hill. If those two are going to do amazing, Waddle from Alabama, Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, it almost feels like a reunion of like San Francisco over there in Miami. A lot of ex-49er players, a lot of ex-49er coaches. I'm rooting as my second favorite team to be the Miami Dolphins. So hopefully they go really far. I like Vic Fangio. I like all the players that they have over there. I'm excited for them. Obviously, you still got Mahomes. They're always going to hold it down. Once Travis Kelce comes up, bro, they're going to be the best. But I want to talk about a little bit of boxing news as well. I don't know, for those that watch a lot of DAZN or Raymond Ford boxing, Raymond has, in my opinion, has had one tough fight. And that tough fight came with a Tejano. He fought a Texan. His name is Eduardo Vasquez. Okay. When I saw that fight live, I thought Eduardo Vasquez beat him. Okay. I thought he beat Raymond Ford. They gave Raymond Ford the decision. It was a close bout. Could have gone either way, but I thought Eduardo did a little more. And the reason that I bring up Eduardo Vasquez is because he's been in a 4-fight winning streak ever since his first loss to Raymond Ford. And he's getting a title shot against Joe Cordina from the UK. Now, Cordina is an amazing boxer. Earlier this year, like around February, March, he fought this guy named Rakhimov. It was probably fight of the year, probably second best to Sergey Derenchenko versus Jaime Munguia. Maybe even better than that. I don't know. I don't think so, but it could be. And then there was a Luis Neri fight versus Hazard on the Golden Boy card. Anyway, Eduardo Vasquez is fighting Joe Cordina, and Joe Cordina has an amazing momentum right now, but he's also injury prone, and he's a little chinny. Now, Eduardo Vasquez, if you look on paper, he's not a knockout artist. He got like 15 wins, 1 loss with 3 KOs, but he's high pressure. So I think it's going to be really interesting, man. If he can catch him and maybe outwork and outmuscle Joe Cordina, but we'll see. Also, one of the things I like about Eduardo Vasquez, I know this sounds funny, but he's got a big ass head, which means he has a big ass chin, which means he's going to be strong to be able to take Joe Cordina's punches. And he's got really crafty defense. Like he does really good shifting his hands and his footwork and his weight. So he's got a little bit of upside. The only thing is, I feel like he doesn't know how to take a step back. Even though he's putting a lot of pressure, he throws a lot of punches and combinations. Like, I need substance, bro. You know, and he's got a very good little defense, kind of like Frank Martin. When like Frank Martin shifts his weight and he puts his elbows to block his face, to block the back of the head and temples, that's the same thing that Eduardo Vasquez does. He kind of shifts his hands, and he's like just catching a lot of punches. But Joe Cordina, at least what I saw in that last Rock'em fight, it showed me that he's not just athletic and can throw any punch, he's also tough. I thought Joe Cordina was going to be like a pretty boy, but nah, he's tough. But Eduardo Vasquez can pull an upset. I was supposed to save these talks for later on until the other two dudes came on, Speed and Drew, but fuck it. On top of that fight, early in the year, there was a huge upset. There was an Eddie Hearn fighter trained by Manny Robles from California. Her name is Ramla Ali. She got beat and got knocked out by this girl named Yulissa or Melissa Guzman. I won $1,000 off like $20 because I bet on her to win, and the odds were like at plus 800. On that same one, the reason I bring this up is because on that same night between Eduardo Vasquez and Joe Cordina, on the undercard Ramla Ali is rematching Yulissa Guzman. Bet money on Guzman to beat Ramla again. Okay, Ramla is fast. She's well trained, but she's chinny. And this other girl should be able to beat her. Now, Ramla can make adjustments, but I also feel like when it comes down to volume, as long as Melissa doesn't or Guzman doesn't just come to outbox her, like if you just continue to get better and throw more combinations, attaboy, 97. Hell yeah, let's go. I feel like the Mexican lady will beat Ramla again. So again, so we got 3-0 Buffalo versus the Jets. Again, Buffalo defense is coming out and balling out. It's going to be a defensive struggle. I don't know about you, Mr. Vince, but do you do any of the fantasy football or DraftKings when you got to set up a lineup? If you do, it's pretty fun, man. If you don't, you're probably saving yourself tons of headaches and not getting too emotionally attached to certain players. For me, I like to gamble a lot, but I gamble responsibly and I gamble cheaply. I don't put like $1,000. I don't do one-on-one bets with people. Like I like to play the casinos and the odds because they give me better percentages of winning. And as broke as I am, I gotta think like a broke man. You know what I mean? I can't. I don't have the luxury to be like, oh, I'm gonna drop 1,000. On the Niners to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now I'm gonna do like a $3 parlay and try to, win the lottery by guessing 8 games correctly. And I was close, bro. I was close. I could have turned $3 into 1,500. But to your point, Burrow got paid and he laid a fucking egg. He costed me, bro. He costed me 1,500. I lost that game. And this one I knew was going to be 50-50, the Minnesota Vikings versus the Buccaneers. I just had a feeling that the Buccaneers were going to play tough. And those two teams, bro, they costed me. I won the Atlanta Falcons game. I won the Raider game. I won all these other games. But Joe Burrow, bro, and the Minnesota Vikings costing me 1,500. So I have been having an amazing week in terms of my football fantasy. He goes, yes, I have a fantasy on ESPN 10-player league. Yeah, man, that's good stuff. Yeah, bro. Unfortunately, one of my lineups, well, all 3 of my lineups, I drafted a high-end tight end. On one of my leagues, I drafted Travis Kelce with my first-round pick. He was just the first round. I was like the 5th or the 6th chosen. And I chose Travis Kelce. He fucking gets hurt. Whatchamacallit, in the other leagues, I'm in 3 fantasy leagues, right? And in my other leagues, I have Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews as a QB tight end. And I realized that Mark Andrews got benched, right? Or he was out, I think, for like a quadriceps. He probably pulled a hamstring or something. So they're playing it safe, the Baltimore Ravens. So I was down with a tight end. Luckily, in both of those leagues, I have the Dallas defense. So between Lamar Jackson giving me like 5 or 7 points and freaking Mark Andrews giving me 0, the Dallas defense gave me like 36 to 40 points, bro. So I'm like, let's go. So I was a little relieved. I hate losing money. I don't gamble much. Yeah, man. I hate losing money as well, just like any other person. But I gamble small. In fact, these fantasy football, they're like $100 leagues and $50 leagues. So it was like a little. I was like, man, I'd rather put that shit in my Roth IRA, the traditional IRA. You know what I mean? But I was just like, fuck it. So I did feel a little pinch of losing $250, but it's a fantasy league. Carries me 5 months into it, and at least it gets my head thinking in certain things. I lost already. I had Waller Giants. Honestly, I have Saquon Barkley in one of my leagues. Darren Waller's gonna do good for you the whole year, bro. I liked what I saw, even though overall that was just a bad matchup. You have to understand, bro. The Dallas Cowboys have like 8 or 9 first rounders on that defensive side of the ball. Michael Parsons, Lawrence, Trayvon Diggs, Hooker the safety. They got Stephon Gilmore. Like they have 8 first rounders on that defensive side of the ball. Vander Esch, their linebacker. It's that was just a bad matchup overall for the Giants. And then let alone with the rainy ass condition, bro. That shit was pouring, bro. It looked like raging waters, bro. Sky Moore and Drake London, big fat zeros for both. Yeah, man. I like Drake London, but um I don't really like them right now because they don't really have a good stable quarterback. So try to get every running back that you can possibly get from Atlanta, like Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algieri, even the other Cordell Patterson. I think those guys are going to have better volume because they can run the ball and catch out of the backfield. Drake London and Kyle Pitts, they're really good. They're fast, they're tall, they're strong. But if you have an unreliable quarterback to spread the ball around, expect that team to not score a lot of points. Sky Moore, he's from the Chiefs. Yeah, number 24. Yeah, bro. The Chiefs look terrible. Mahomes did his thing, but that team, those receivers, Tony, Sky Moore, they might get a little better, but they look like caca, bro. They were horrible. Horrible, my friend. They were, I don't even know, dude. That was terrible. And one of my leagues, I have Travis Kelce, and I also went with Patrick Mahomes. And yeah, man, it was, yeah, dude, I don't know. I wouldn't start those. Big fat zero for both. Yeah, man, that was, yeah, I feel you, man. Like I said, I'm barely winning these close games. Um, Mainly because my defense, and one of them I have Tyreek Hill and the Dallas defense. So that's the only reason why I'm winning those games. Aside from that, I shouldn't be, because overall my teams are either my tight ends are hurt, and that's why I went with my first rounders, or my quarterbacks didn't produce jack shit. Lamar Jackson, I have 2 in my leagues, and then the other one was Patrick Mahomes. So they couldn't develop nothing, bro. But yeah, man, I only pay a little attention to the game in the background. But yeah, what did you watch? I learned both going to be on the bench next week. What game surprised you the most, Vince? Did you catch all of them? Woo! Josh Allen threw an interception. Damn, was he trying to feed Gabe Davis? Bro, I knew Josh Allen was going to be fucking trash, bro. Like, I don't know what's going on with him. But Josh Allen will do good. He's just not going to do good against the Jets. Jets are just too talented, too stacked. And Josh Allen, as big as he is, bro, he's kind of like he's a gunslinger dummy. So he's the type of throw like 3 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns for like 2-3 interceptions. He's not smart with the ball, and he falls in love too much with the throwing game. That's another team. They know that Josh Allen has a strong arm, and you have good weapons, tight ends, and receivers, but they're expecting the pass. So just run, bro. Run the ball with Cook. Run the ball with Allen. Don't look to throw and get that big highlight play for 50-yard bomb, bro. Just play situational football. And as long as Josh Allen fails to understand that, they're always going to be in high or tough scoring games, because you have to learn how to do long drives like the Niners do and waste that time. Vince says, I caught most of them. I have red zone. Nice, bro. Good stuff. Yeah, man. I caught Most of them, um, I don't have Red Zone. Just have a streaming device. That's pretty good for me. And then I try to watch the local channels or on Peacock. I caught Peacock when it was only $1. Now it's like $5, and they show a little bit of games there. But um, my girl gets like these little advertising. Wait, she gets access to certain apps essentially for free. So I got like the MLB Network Pass. No, MLB.TV. I don't know, but I can get watch every single baseball game, and then I watch the and then she gets Amazon Prime from work. So all those stuff is pretty cool. It's kind of like a little college deal, like when you're going to college, they give you all these apps as part of your student or whatever. Vince says, I watched the Raiders and Jimmy G pulling off the W. Yeah, man, I was telling all my Raider fans because they were upset. And I was like, nah, bro, don't be upset. Jimmy G is as good as Derek Carr. The only problem is two things. One, Jimmy gets hurt. And when he gets hurt, I feel like everybody puts, all their apples in their basket for Jimmy G. So when he gets hurt, you have nobody to fall back on. And then two, sometimes he likes to play hero ball, and you saw a little bit of that moment when he threw that interception. It's like, bro, like, don't throw that interception. You're playing all good except that moment, and that moment could have been crucial because it could have been a field goal, or maybe the Broncos march down the field and then turn that turnover into some points. But luckily for the Raiders, that guy Diablo, he balled out for them, and Max Crosby kept them in the game. So it was good to see. What the hell just happened? So it was good to see. It was good to see Jimmy G, win that thing, bro. Um, so let me see, bro. I'm a little excited. I hate playing DraftKings. It's kind of like fantasy lineup every single time, but I'm winning $30 right now because I put Brees Hall as my I put Brees Hall as my captain, and I'm turning $3 into like right now I'm turning $3 into $30, and the guy in first place beating me, he's got 4 points above me. Like right now I'm winning, and he can win $14,000, bro. I just need Garrett Wilson and Dalvin Cook to do a little more, especially Dalvin Cook. And Dalvin Cook is in right now. So let me watch this drive and see. Boom, Dalvin Cook, make a juke. You only got fucking 1 yard, bro. Shit. Yeah, man, Jimmy looked really good, man. I personally feel, I know the Niners picked up Sam Darnold and then they drafted like in the 5th round or a 6th round a quarterback, but I wish we still kept Jimmy, mainly to go back to the point. We gave up so much talent to give up for Trey Lance, and I wish they should have used those 3 rounders by never trading for Trey and then just banking on Jimmy and just get Jimmy an amazing offensive line with 3 first rounders. And then anyway, the fact that they didn't, I just feel like, bro, you just got to protect Brock Purdy now. And your lineman cannot protect Purdy. Other than my dog, the silverback, Trent Williams, number 71, you have absolutely nobody else. Mike McGlinchey left, and he's with the Broncos. You had Laken Tomlinson. He's with the Jets. Like, we have nobody else than Trent Williams. I could be wrong. Maybe there's some other linemen that we have that are really good and amazing. But besides Trent Williams, I can't give you any other name. Let me see. San Francisco 49ers depth chart. uh, all right, let's see. ESPN.com. All right, so we have our right tackle, Colton McKivitz. We have Spencer Burford. Our center is Drake Brendel. Left guard is Aaron Banks. And left tackle is Trent Williams. Who's Colton McKivitz? He sounds familiar. He's 6'6" from West Virginia. Huh. Colton McKivitz. Where was he drafted? He was drafted in the 2nd round, bro. Banks guard is solid. Yeah, let's see this. Oh no, McKivitz was drafted in the 5th round and he was picked 7. And then you said Aaron Banks, left guard Aaron Banks, 6'5", 325. That's a big boy from Notre Dame, the college, and he's 26 years old. Aaron Banks. Who was he drafted by? What round? Aaron Banks draft. He was drafted in the 2nd round with pick 16. So you're looking at essentially a first rounder. So nice, man. I didn't know about Aaron Banks. So it looks like the left side of the ball. It looks like the left side of protecting Brock Purdy will be good with Trent Williams and Aaron Banks. But that right side, I don't know, bro. I saw TJ Watt getting a little too comfortable and winning on the line against Coin McKivitz that I was like, bro, you got to protect Brock Purdy much more. McKivitz is okay. He's still learning. Got roasted by TJ Watt, but doesn't struggle. Yeah, but who doesn't struggle against Watt? Yeah, man, I agree. I just feel like it's kind of like that same thing. I know that they can't help him and chip every single play, but when it's TJ Watt, when it's Micah Hyde, when it's the number 7 Reddick that hurt Brock Purdy last year in the NFC Championship, you have to chip every single play certain players because if you don't, they're either going to get a sack, it's going to be pressure. Like, you got to take them away. Once you take their best player away on the defensive side of the ball, they essentially have nobody. Fitzpatrick, I like Minka Fitzpatrick, but a safety can be everywhere and can't cause havoc to a quarterback like TJ Watt. So if you got to double team in every single time, that's what you got to do. Take him out of the picture. If they rotate him from the right side to the strong side to the weak side and vice versa, or up the middle, you got to double team him. You cannot just get even one play comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, you got to double team TJ Watt every single time. See, one of the beautiful things about the Niners is if you double team Nick Bosa, it's all good. We got Armstead, right? We got Colin Farrell. All these guys are first rounders. Now we got Hargrave. So it's like, go ahead, Team Bosa. That's kind of what we're hoping for because guys like Drake Jackson, he's going to rack up the 3 sacks. And it all comes because this guy over here is being double teamed. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think in the first drive, they lost Cameron Hayward, right? Another first rounder, defensive lineman for them. And TJ Watt was essentially just a one-man trying to put pressure. Now, he could do that, cause havoc like he was. I think he racked up like 2 sacks, maybe even a forced fumble. But, I hope Kyle Shanahan doesn't get too cocky about that, man, because I like Kyle. He's an amazing coach. I got nothing to say bad about him. How about the 49er fans showing up in Pittsburgh, representing? Seen some Mexican flags too. Look, man, that 49er faithful, they travel well. I don't know if they're all Californios and then they move out to different states. I know last year this year, a lot of Californians left the Bay Area and they went over to Texas. I know all this stuff, and I know there's a big fan base over there in Texas that it's Frisco. But, man, in Pittsburgh, too? Next time we go to New York, there's going to be a lot of red and green. It's going to look like the holidays over there we play the New York Jets. Like, man, I know, like, look, I'm a big-time Niner fan, okay? And I love, as a Niner fan, their logo. But if we look at other teams' logos, the SF is pretty weak, man. You know what I mean? Even our colors, I like red and gold. It's a really good combination. But, like, bro, everything about our jerseys and stuff and, like, the logo, they ain't that good. Like, we know the black and white and gray from the Raiders. Give me a second, bro. Yeah, man, the Niner fan base, the faithful, man, shout out to them, bro. Just representing everything, bro. It's beautiful to see. I'm extremely happy about that, and it just makes me happy to be a Niner fan, bro. Um, Yeah, man. But I was going to go back. I'm just like, man, bro, we need some jerseys that on the shoulder pad, we need like a little stitched, minor, a golden minor, with a dude with a sombrero and Levi pants. Like, I just need more on the jerseys, bro. They're like so plain. They look like college jerseys and shit. I'm just kind of like, just because I love the color red and I love gold. Um, but man, I just need some new changes on the uniform, bro. I don't know, but it is iconic. Uh, but yeah, man, I'm just like, dude, you can't let other crappier teams have better helmets and uniform and shit like that. But no, it's that golden red when you're on the field, it stands out. It's beautiful. And yeah, I love that, but I just want more, man. Especially, I don't know about you, Vince, but I like to collect a lot of things. I wouldn't say that I'm a hoarder, but I feel like if there was a liability, I'm like, damn, bro. Like over the years, things you start collecting too much stuff, whether it's comic books or amazing shoes, newspapers. Like I have a certain collection of newspapers that are either signed or they were like monumental pieces. What I mean by a monumental newspaper is like I have like I think Barry Bonds broke the home run record in 2004, 5 or 6, and I think it might have been 2006. So I have this newspaper, two of them that are framed. And when they took up the whole front page of the San Francisco Chronicle, and they had a special edition of Barry Bonds and Willie Mays, his godfather. And I have little newspapers like that. Like I also collected certain newspapers when LeBron James broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record title, and a lot of these things, right? So what you may call it, yeah, man. I like to collect things. The next thing it's like again going back to as broke as I am, you start noticing that you have a lot of things. Like I went to school to learn how to do films and filmmaking and editing, and I've done some short films, like 15 music videos, little things like that. A lot of like photo shoots for people and clients, but uh, I ended up buying a lot of editing software equipment, microphones, to have my own big old lights with gels. The gels are like filters that you put on the lights to give like an orange or a blue hue or red hue, yellow hue, whatever, to make the movies much more dynamic and stuff. So I ended up buying a bunch of this stuff that I thought I needed, right? A badass DSLR camera, a Canon Mark IV, 5D Mark IV. And next thing you know, bro, I don't even use none of that anymore. Not that I don't like, I'm still making content and like videos and stuff, but the iPhone, bro, replaced all of that shit. And I'm like, damn, it really replaced everything that I needed. The iPhone, the camera quality is good. I have the iPhone 11 Pro Max, right? I got it like 4 or 5 years ago. It's still in good condition. The iPhone stores pretty good, so I don't even have to transfer files. I can immediately airdrop it to certain people. Photo shoot, I can edit it right there. So, bro, I don't even use none of my stuff anymore. Yeah, bro, stuff you probably don't even use anymore, just sitting there. And I hate that it's sitting there, bro, because I've always been a pretty smart person where I like to maximize and use a lot of the stuff. Like a lot of my stuff that I have are I take really good condition. They're in good condition because I'm like a bum at heart in the sense that like I wear the certain things over and over. Uh, and the great stuff I just kind of have there only for like special occasions, right? So everything's essentially damn near brand new. And but I always use it and I apply it to certain things. Yeah, you went all in, especially in the beginning. Yeah, bro, I really did. And I'm just like, damn, bro, I'm there. I'm itching just to use a camera. I'll still take out certain stuff out. But again, just I realized how powerful these new modern phones are. Mind you, for like 10 years, um, I used to have a BlackBerry phone, the old school phones where like that little maze game was on your phone, and I used that forever. So I would always use and carry my camera everywhere to take pictures, black and white. I even still have like those black and white cameras, not the Polaroids. I have one of those too, but the ones that you put the film in and you have to like crank it to take the shot. And I would love to be hands on and develop them. I got some frames of like nature and shit. But yeah, bro, it's oh, Josh Allen's rolling out. Oh, he's looking to run. And he throws it to Diggs. Nice. For sure. Yeah, man. I went all in for the beginning. It's all paid off in good condition, but I hate the fact that it just sits there on my shelf. And yeah, and I just use my iPhone, bro. Like my iPhone, it just does everything. Um, I sent a message to Ricky yesterday thinking it probably was you. I put homie Ricky. Um, like on Instagram or something. I sent a message to Ricky thinking it was probably I put homie Ricky. Let me check. Like was it on Instagram or like on YouTube comments? I don't really. Let me see. Uh, on Instagram. I don't really see it. Let's see. Do you know what the topic was? Was it like a post or like on Ruben Villa's like Instagram? Let me see. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I don't see events. But yeah, man. So yeah, I just realized how strong and powerful the iPhone is, and how a lot of people just off their phone can build essentially companies because that's a powerful tool. Like it replaced a TV, right? Because you can watch internet and stream movies all on this device everywhere you go, right? It's the ultimate weapon, right? It's got a camera, it's got a microphone uh, to produce certain things, to stream. You can edit amazing photos. Same thing with videos. Uh, it replaced the phone books. It wasn't a message. It was a video on someone watching a soccer match on TV. Got you, Shay. I'm not too sure, brother. Let me see. It was a video of someone watching soccer match on TV. Soccer match. Let's see. Oh yeah, it might have been somebody else. My name on the gram, bro. It's homies underscore Ricky. It'll be me in the picture of my girlfriend right there. But yeah, man, no, yeah, the phone. So it's a blessing and a curse, and it even replaces to a certain degree video games, right? Especially when you talk about games like Fortnite, Call of Duty Mobile, like the quality and the content of it is good, bro. And it's just shocking. Come on, stream how how he essentially replaces all that, and it's in the power of your hands. I remember watching haha, it wasn't you. I got you, brother. Um yeah, man. So just the cell phone. Like I said, it's a blessing and a curse because everything is now accessible. You can make beats in your phone when you used to need all these like little MIDI fighters. You needed programs like Fruity Loops, Logic, all these audio engineering software, and now you don't, bro. And then you don't even gotta go to college because if you have the dedication and willing to use the process of trial and error, you got YouTube. And it's just like you have all the scholars there doing videos that are great from all these professors. And bro, you don't even need it anymore. So the whole game has changed because of the internet. Like as everybody knows, and the power of the cell phone. Um, but yeah, man, it is pretty shocking, bro. What is going on here? Man, I'm trying to watch this game. And that touchdown, let's check it out. I'm gonna go to DraftKings, and then yeah, that touchdown because a lot of people have Stephon Diggs, um, Dalvin Cook, Brees Hall. All right, Dalvin Cook and Garrett Wilson. I need you guys to ball out, bruh. But yeah, man, if you see my page, I sent you a request just now. I'm into RCs like race cars, or like the RCs, like the ones that you use the controller to like race. I've been wanting to watch like 4 years ago, I was in Monterey, and there's this little pond. It's called the Frog Pond. I think that's what it's called. I'm not too sure. It's a nice little location, very small, very remote, near the airport. And I took my drone. I had a Phantom DJI drone 4 or some shit like that. And I saw this balcony in a little swamp, and I take my drone and I'm flying it out there, and it lets me know, it's like, hey, dude, you're close to this this airport. We're gonna shut down. And it starts doing like this 30-second countdown. And the drones, if you ever flew a drone, I'm pretty sure you do if you're into RCs, they tend to automatically land. um, but I didn't think I thought it was gonna retrieve back to me because there's a home button, and it starts to auto land and it goes into the water. Anyway, the reason I bring up that little detail in that story is because in that same pond, like about a week before I end up taking my drone, I seen this dude have a controlled excuse me. I seen him have a controlled remote RC sailboat, a sailboat. It was beautiful. It was huge, bro. It might have been like, let me see, like a 2-foot sailboat. And I've been always trying to look on the internet for one, and I haven't been fortunate enough to find it. Vince goes, remote control. I am a hoarder. I have too many. My buddy owns a hobby shop. Dude, that's fucking dope. Yeah, bro. I'm a hoarder as well, man. Well, I wouldn't say so. I'm a hoarder. I do like collecting certain things that I grew up with my childhood with me. So I never lose that little kid aspect in my life. But or like a reminder, like at one point I wanted these things in my life, so it had value to me, whatever. But like I said, I like to it landed in the water crazy. Never flown a drone. Yeah, man, drones are pretty cool, man. I have one of my friends, his name was Hal. Before he left to Hong Kong or Malaysia, sorry, he sold me a drone, and I bought it off him from like, I think I gave him like $200. It was like 500, and he just couldn't take all his accessories from film school over. But yeah, man, that drone was beautiful, and I've always been wanting a sailboat. Especially me, I like going to the beaches. We got really nice beaches here in the Monterey County area, and yeah, man, and I want and taking those RC toys and and like the water, the under not the underwater ones, but the water on the surface, to use the RC like little boats and stuff. It's pretty fun, man. But yeah, I was really sad about that drone because at that time that drone was like $800 to $1,000, maybe even more. I had bought it brand new, and that was the first time I ever spent something really expensive and then ruin it, right? Or like quote unquote have an accident. So I was very sad when um, not only did it land in the water, it was in a swamp, right? So I saw my drone, and in my tablet, it lets me know, oh, the drone, it has like a GPS device letting you know where the location of the drone is. But since it's in like this little swamp and the water moves, it kept moving here and there. Me and my friend Hugo, we took not our scuba suits, but we took like our wetsuit and our bodyboard, and we went surfing for it. And mind you, this water's a swamp, so it's all dark and shit. And we were able to take this net and find the drone. The drone still turns on to this day, but the components on the inside, like the mechanisms and all this stuff, and the chip, that blew up. So on the outside, it's nice and white, like it's washed, but the inside is all corrosive and dark. But I still kept it as a reminder to be like, you dumbass, you should have listened to instructions. But it was kind of like a little freak accident where I didn't know that like it would auto land in water. I thought it would retrieve and come back to me like the home button. But I guess the infrared sensor and the overlapping of the airport that was in Monterey probably kind of like messed it up. And they were just for like safekeeping, like, oh, and like federal law can't be flying near an airport. So I just fucking landed in the water and I lost that. But yeah, man, it was pretty tragic. Like it was a tragedy for me because at the time I was like 20 years old, broke, and I'm buying a freaking gimbal, stabilizer, and a drone, and I fucking flying in the water. Or it auto landed in the water, and no shock. And I still have the footage. Maybe I don't know if I have it here, but I'm pretty sure I have it in one of my in one of my hard drives. Yeah, dude, it was crazy, and we found it. Yeah, me and my homie Hugo, man, he helped me find it, and I think Hugo was on one time on here once, at least in the comments, just saying he was checking in and just listening to the podcast. But yeah, man, looks like Josh Allen scored a touchdown to Stephon Diggs on a little wheel out, and he just got it out 10-3, second quarter. And then I think the Buffalo Bills just picked off Zach Wilson. So it looks like Zach Wilson's still making the same mistakes as he's done in the past when he was a rookie. So um, the Bills got good field position. I think it was Matt Milano that intercepted it and took it for like 10 yards. They're in like the 43-yard line, and they just hand the ball off to James Cook. Cook takes, wow, nice run, like for 25 yards, and now but there's a flag. Yeah, brother, it was a cool little moment. To this day, I still have the drone in one of my closets where I have all my electronics, and I still have the drone package and the controller. Everything works, and the propellers are well, and the motors on the propellers go, but it just you insert the battery and it'll turn on. But again, there's no way that it's gonna fly because the components inside where the battery goes, it's all fried. It's black and corrosive and burnt. Obviously, it's an electrical device, and the water will fucking blow it up and shit. But yeah, man, it was I was sad that day. Yeah, it was a horrible moment. But yeah, man, a lot of remote control. So do you have like sailboats, or are they just like those? And also, do you race them? Like, do you go on tracks, or do you go on little sand dunes and like do flips, or even put like a little what do you call those little GoPros and mount a little camera there and boom? Or do you track it with like another drone and see how fast it goes? Because some of those RCs, bro, at least that I know, we have a little park here off of 68. It's called Toro Park, and I used to see a lot of people and I used to see a lot of people, run and race their cars. Crazy, you found it. Cool. Ruben Villa follows you on Instagram. Yeah, man. Ruben Villa, I wouldn't consider him a friend because I don't know him like a friend. But every time that I've met him, it's like a childhood friend that would just like bounce off. Really cool, man. Uh, I've met him a couple of times. Um, like I know of him, but I wouldn't say like we're really close friends. But he's just a really cool dude, man. And yeah, bro, he's like yeah, just a really good person, bro. And yeah, he was generous to follow me on Instagram. Um, I bought like 4 or 5 shirts of him. I think I might have talked about this in the past. And I trained one of my nephews boxing, and we went to his gym because I hit him up on IG. Ruben is he responds to his fans. And I hit him. I told him, "Hey, Ruben, how much do you charge for for an autograph?" I had bought in these Canelo boxing gloves, no boxing, no life gloves, some red and gold ones. And he goes, "Yeah, bro, I don't charge anything for the gloves. Just come through to the gym and buy some shirts." And my one of my nephews, he likes to compete, and scratch that. He doesn't compete. He doesn't like to compete, but he competes in boxing. And when we were there, we were talking to Ruben. He was showing us the gym, his amateur tournaments, the Golden Gloves that he's won, and all these whole collectibles, obviously with his shirts. He signed the gloves, and then he knew about my nephew because they box in this circuit, in the amateur circuit. And he was telling me, "Yeah, man, come through." But we had to be loyal to our own gym and our own trainers that we train with and stuff. So maybe in a day, if my little nephew decides to go pro, maybe we'll hop on with Ruben Villa. He has other 2 fighters named Drew Superfly, and then he has Jorge Maravillo. I know Jorge since he was a kid. We used to train together. But yeah, man, Ruben's really good people, bro. I like him a lot. Like I said, he's kind of like a cousin. But yeah, when you meet him, if you ever do meet him or you ever stop by to his gym, he's very friendly, really cool. And yeah, dude, he's just really good people. Um, I used to smash around at indoor track in San Jose, but not anymore. I just have them and take care of what I have. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, RCs are always really cool. I've always been wanting to buy one, but I guess I'll buy one when I have a kid, so I can just teach them about cars, and we can do like car related things and play stuff with like the stuff that I have. mostly baseball, bro, to be honest with you. But yeah, man, he's Ruben's good people, man. Ruben, he's like I said, he's cool, man. And again, I think you seen that he was at one of our local malls, and he was giving out photo shoots. I don't know if Top Rank was there, but he was signing autographs, and there was probably a good like interviews and just meeting his fan base. It was right there, so it's pretty cool to see. Like I said, he's always giving back to the community, and I think the city of Salinas, his hometown, gave him a key to the city. I don't know what a key to the city exactly does. It's probably just like a nice like representation. I don't know if it unlocks anything, but that's still pretty cool, man. I know that one of my trainers was Xbox out of Salinas too. He was a pro fighter as well. He had like 40 fights, and he fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. on HBO. His name is wow, bro. Come on. How you gonna forget my trainer's name, bro? Oh my god. I was gonna say Julio Celaya, Jose Celaya. My bad, bro. I was drawing a blank. And Celaya, I don't even know if they gave him a key to the city, bro. But it was cool. Ruben Villa's done amazing things. And Jose Celaya, he fought the Leyenda son. And he had a good little resume. I think he also fought Freddie Norwood. He had like 37 wins to maybe like 9 losses. Jose Celaya. If you don't know who Freddie Norwood is, bro, he's a good fighter. Freddie Norwood, if I'm not mistaken, also beat Juan Manuel Marquez. But yeah, that Celaya fight, I felt against Chavez Jr. Took a lot out of him. And that was his HBO debut. And I think Jose Celaya got knocked out in the 7th or the 10th round. I don't really remember, but it's a pretty sad story with Celaya. But he's still around the area. He still trains certain fighters, and it's always good seeing him. RC's help with eye hand coordination. Yeah, nice. Yeah, no, I have never. I don't think I've ever used one, bro. To be honest with you, I've never driven an RC toy. But yeah, I can only imagine with hand-eye coordination because yeah, dude, you're going super fast and you got to be aware of your surroundings. Villa was promoting his fight before his fight in Texas. Yeah, man. He's got this fight on this Friday or this Saturday. It's gonna be a good weekend of fights. I think you mentioned it yesterday, and we kind of talked about it briefly. You got, I think, Jermaine Ortiz is fighting on there. You have Emiliano Vargas fighting on there as well. You have Joel Gonzalez versus El Venado, who Ruben already fought in the past. I think when more or less they were both undefeated. So I think after this one, I think Villa signed a 3 or 4 fight deal with Top Rank. In the past, when I spoke to Ruben, I don't know if you've been following Ruben throughout his whole career, Vince, or just kind of basically his last 10 fights or so, but he was with this company out of down south. It was called Thompson Boxing. And one of the owners, if not the owner that oversaw the promotional company of Thompson, he recently died. So that's why if you look at Ruben Villa's box rec, there was like 2 years or so after the Emmanuel Navarrete fight that he didn't have a fight, because obviously I'm pretty sure that promoter was going through, just health ramifications and, fighting for his life. And Ruben was kind of inactive. And I know for a while he wanted to get his, I don't know if he wanted to buy his contract out or he was just waiting for it to expire. When I spoke to him, that's kind of what he was waiting for, to it expire and he would be fighting soon. And little did he know that he signed with Top Rank, and then boom, he fought this year on his debut with Top Rank and got a knockout. And then this weekend or this Friday, he should get a knockout as well. And then after that, he'll probably fight the winner of Joel Gonzalez and Luis Alberto Lopez. There's a good channel on YouTube, bro, between the two leyendas, Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales. It's called Un Round Mas. And obviously, because they're two legends, I don't know if you've ever watched, I'm pretty sure you did, and know about Eric Morales and Barrera. They were like big time rivals, and they had a nasty trilogy, bro. Like they were mean to each other, bro. It was like some they would throw blows in the promotional, just like some straight thugs, bro. Didn't follow him when he was with Thompson. Just discovered him recently during his layoff. Yeah, man, Ruben he's he's really good people, man. He spars a lot and he's won a lot of tournaments and sparred against a lot of amazing fighters. Um, and he won't speak about it because he's a real gentleman. Like when you talk about the real gentleman in the sport of boxing, Ruben Villa is one of the most polite, soft-spoken, and well-spoken fighters that are cut from that old breed of just respect. You know what I mean? But he's got a mean, attitude towards him, obviously, because you have to have that type of angst when you punch another human being for a living. But yeah, bro, Ruben Villa he's dope, bro. I got nothing but great things to say about him. Um, so yeah, hopefully he wins by knockout, and it's an impressive. And yeah, man, and hopefully he gets a title shot because I he just lost it to Emmanuel Navarrete. Did well, but as we find out that Emmanuel Navarrete is a great three-time divisional champion. So I'm gonna take nothing away from Navarrete. Didn't follow him when he was with Thompson. Just discovered him recently during his layoff. Yeah, man. So before Ruben turned pro, there was an amateur fight across the street from a police station. It was called the U.S. Armory, something like that. And I spoke to him, and I talked to him, and I was like, "Hey, Ruben, so who are you gonna sign with?" Or I asked him, sorry, why did he sign with Thompson Promotion? Why not Golden Boy, Top Rank, DAZN, and any of these big time promotional companies? And I was shocked by Ruben Villa's response because he told me none of those companies called him, right? And mind you, Ruben Villa, for those that know and who don't know who he is, he's a standout amateur, right? And a lot of people thought he was going to be the next Oscar de la Hoya in terms of Mexican American and continue to dominate because this kid has like over 150 amateur wins, a lot of national championships, and he's only lost to like 10 times. So the dude is a beast in the amateur game. Like he's well known in the United States, even in the East Coast gyms, because he's beaten a lot of the East Coast fighters, like Shakur Stevenson, the Russell brothers. Ruben is that dude. And anyway, so I was shocked when he told me, yeah, man, Golden Boy, especially Golden Boy. I thought he was going to sign Ruben, but none of them signed him. And he was like a diamond in the rough, right? He's a gem, bro. He he like put it like this, like a poor man's Lomachenko. What I mean by that, and that's not something to be like, oh man, why are you talking shit? No, no, no. He can fight like Lomachenko without just the power, but like combination punching, intelligence, footwork. Bro, Ruben is right there. And so I was shocked when none of these big time promoters called him up. And he goes, yeah, I signed with Thompson Boxing. Now, just a little history. Thompson Boxing would stream fights on their Facebook and, on YouTube because there were small, like, Orange County promotional company down south. So that's usually where all of their fights take place. But that guy, Thompson, they know how to sign talent because they also at one point had Demetrius Andrade. That's another fighter, Demetrius Andrade. Before he started fighting on HBO, he was signed to Thompson promotional company. And they also had Ruben. So they've always had talent. The thing is just like, because there's more independent, small budgeted promotional company, they can't sign the best talent. But yeah, man, they have a great eye for talent to seek it out, and they also know how to develop it. It's just again, they just ran in through some health problems and stuff, so it was a little bit of it just kind of put a delay into their business. But yeah, man, I think they'll probably be Hall of Famers because of what they did in terms of that underground amateur circuit and the professional game. But yeah, man, no, that's good stuff. Yeah, dude. Well, at least I'm still glad that you found and heard about Ruben, bro, because like I said, I think he'll be a champion this year. I think he'll beat Bernardo Lopez if ESPN will give him that shot. And here's another thing: when I spoke to him recently, and I spoke to people around that are closer to Ruben than myself, he said, and people were telling me that ESPN and Bob Arum love Ruben Villa. They love the Chicano, right? Like the Jose Ramirez. And they love that those certain fighters because there's a niche audience to promote them to, right? Because everything about boxing is it's business at the end of the day. It is a profession. It is, a sport, but it's also about making money and promoting fighters to get to a certain status. So I think there's much more upside to have Ruben be a champion than let's say than Joel Gonzalez or Venado Lopez. So once Ruben, well, I would wish for him to become a champion. I don't know if he will be. Those fighters at 126, the only thing that they're a little better at Ruben is they have a little more pop, like Robeisy Ramirez, like Venado Lopez, like Josh Warrington or Lee Wood. But Ruben, like intelligence and skill, he's better than all those guys. It's just, having power is a skill. And Ruben doesn't really have that necessarily with like a one-hitter quitter. It's more like an accumulation of punches and breaking you down mentally. And then physically, he starts imposing his combinations, head, body, or body to the head, and vice versa. So, again, but he's also still young. I think he's like 23, 24 years old, maybe 25. So he's still developing his man strength. And as he gets older and a little fluctuating weight and starts understanding more about like body composition and physical training, the knockouts will come. But yeah, man, Ruben is badass, bro. I got nothing. Again, I got nothing but great things to say about that kid, and I think he will be a champion and a unified, and I think he can be undisputed. I think he will beat Venado. I think he can also beat Robeisy Ramirez. He can for sure beat Lee Wood. And I'm not too sure who the other champion is at 126. Maybe Ray Vargas when he beat Mark Magsayo, unless he relinquished that belt and when he moved up to 130 to fight Oshaki Foster. So it's halftime, 13-3. Aaron Rodgers left game in the first quarter. His ankles, his X-ray is negative, but he will not return. Wow. Yeah, man, that's and the Jets, even with Zach Wilson, a first rounder, man, they can't develop any flow or momentum. And it kind of, well, I mean, on one of my fantasies, bro, my Yahoo fantasy, no, ESPN fantasy, I'm actually losing. Let me see. Oh no, I have 99 points, right? And I'm going up against a person that she's already tapped out. Like all her players already played. And kind of like you were, I'm not too sure if you're in here, Vince, but earlier you spoke how like Drake London and this other player gave you 0 points. Well, she had T. Higgins and Dallas Goedert, and they both gave her 0 points. And I have right now playing the Buffalo defense and then the kicker for Buffalo, Tyler Bass, and they're giving me both 19 points. The Buffalo defense is giving me 11, and Tyler Bass has 8 points as of right now. So if the game were to end, I would win. And if I'm not mistaken, that would make me 3-0 in all 3 fantasy football leagues. So at least that's a little upside. At least for me, that'd be pretty cool. Because I haven't won fantasy since 2018, I think. And that's when Saquon Barkley was a rookie. Let me see. Who does this fucker have? Oh, the Buffalo defense. So, yeah, man. But, yeah, it looks like the Buffalo Bills will win simply because the Jets don't really have a quarterback. I don't know how much difference Aaron Rodgers was going to do. Look, bro, that Buffalo Bills defense is nasty. Nasty. They have so much depth. It's not even fair how talented they are on that defensive side of the ball. If I'm just gonna run down some names on you, they have Greg Russo, right? Von Miller's out. They have Ed Oliver, Leonard Floyd, Matt Milano, Tre'Davious White, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde from the Packers. Bro, those are all Pro Bowlers or damn near first rounders. Vince says, is Thompson like Triller? Watch Triller when they were promoting the 3 Vargas bros on one of the cards. Emiliano made his pro debut with Triller. Is Thompson like Triller? Well, I don't think Thompson. You know what? I think later on Thompson did end up making an app, but I would say they're smaller than Triller because Triller was kind of like a jack of all trades. They were in the hip hop scene. I think they even brought out Bone Thugs versus 3-6 Mafia, and they were having like this battle. So they have like pay-per-views in those instances. Um, so I would say Triller might be a little bigger, but Thompson is very independent like that. And yeah, they won. Yeah, they were promoting those misfits fights with like Jake Paul and the three Vargas Bros. So yeah, I would say Triller was a little bigger than Thompson Boxing, but yeah, they're very similar in that nature. Um, for sure, yeah, they were. I would say that would be like that's a fair comparison. It's kind of like that, but I think Triller had bigger pockets, and they also had like better promotion, more modern promotion. Thompson is more like even smaller, kind of like underground. It's kind of like you have WWE and all these ECWs and SmackDown and Monday Night Raw. Yeah, that's like tier A, right? And then tier B or tier C would be like Lucha Underground, right? On El Rey Network, directed by Robert Rodriguez. That's how I would say like Thompson is even that independent in terms of that level. But yeah, man. Let me see what other things happen in the NFL, bro. Um, Yeah, so I thought this game was going to be a little better in terms of, I mean, it's competitive. It's good. It's defensively sound on both ends. Like we talked about, the Buffalo Bills defense is amazing. So is the New York Jets defense with Sauce Gardner as a lockdown corner. They got, and then fucking their head coach, Salah, was the defensive coordinator for the Niners. Not only does he have a lot of ex-49er players on that team, but he's defensive minded. So his defense is always going to keep them in close games. But yeah, man, it's gonna be really interesting to see. Damn, bro. It looked like Chris Jones, one of the defensive ends or defensive tackles for the Chiefs, signed a 1 year. Very true, very true. Triller had Cypress Hill versus Onyx during the Vargas Dynasty fight. Nice, bro. Triller also had a 4-video series on the Vargas Dynasty on YouTube. Yeah, man. Triller, yeah, when Triller was on their thing, I don't know, they're probably still around, but when they were building their momentum during the COVID years, they were on it, man. It's just yeah, I mean, they even picked up the Teofimo Lopez versus George Cambosa's fight, overpaying. But I feel that's kind of like one of the issues that happened with Triller is that they were overpaying to establish their name, kind of like a lot of up and comers try to do. And then they didn't really understand the market, especially with the boxing market with Teofimo Lopez and George Cambosos. They thought that was going to be a pay-per-view fight, and they treated it as such because they spent $6 million, but then they eventually had to pull out. So I think that's kind of what happened with Triller, which was kind of what happened to The Zone. Is in the beginning, they put out a lot of money, and they started seeing what worked and what didn't right through the process of trial and error and trying to like learn about this market and the research. But yeah, man, I feel like that's where they lost a lot of that talent and a lot of their previews and shows because of such thing. So I have 56 points, and first place has 76. So he's got Diggs. Yeah, man. So we're pretty similar, just Dalvin Cook. Yeah. Yeah, man. The Vargas bros are really good. I know Speed hit me up earlier and he was like, hey, man, Amato, one of the Vargas brothers, the one with the curly hair, he was sparring Gervonta Davis. And he talked about how Gervonta dropped him with a body shot. And he was like, yeah, man, Gervonta, when you spar him, he lets you, throw your punches and kind of connect on him. And then next, whenever he wants to turn it up, that he's the real deal. And that's kind of like what everybody says about Tank, right? And even when you look at like when he fought Leo Santa Cruz was putting hands on Tank. Same thing with Mario Barrios. And whenever Tank wants to be explosive and let his hands go, boom, 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 it's just straight bazookas. And you hear that pop, you see that speed, and it don't matter where he connects. He can be hitting on your shoulders, your abs, your solar plex, your chest, your chin, your temple. You're just gonna drop, bro. That dude's explosive. Now it's all about Marv Nation Promotions with the Vargas Jr. and Amato. Yeah, man. I like Marv Nation. I've seen a few of their content and even their website, like marvnation.com. I'm impressed, bro. They do some pretty good stuff there. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. They do they're good. I hope Marv Nation succeeds. I did like the fight with Regis versus Chon Zepeda. I just the only thing I didn't like was Regis. I didn't like how he was like, "Hey man, Marv Nation better get this money right because I went to cash in my check and there was no funds on the escrow account." And I was like, "Regis, bro, chill, bro. The money will be there." That's the only thing I like. But also Sicones, bro. I was just like, "Fuck, dude. Like, just chill. The money will get there." And then next, he's like, "Hey, we're all good. I got paid. Whatever." I think that's the only thing that the downfall of what Regis did because I reached out to a lot of circuits. But yeah, man, hopefully big things from our nation. Look, bro, I think the Buffalo will win this game like 23-3, maybe 24. Not even too sure what the score was, like 13-3. Zach Wilson's got to play way better than that, man. I mean, if there was ever a team that needed Trey Lance, would have been the Jets because I think he would be better than Zach Wilson. And Aaron Rodgers, like I was saying earlier, man, he's 40 years old. If you're relying on a 40-year-old to take you to the ship, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. Not saying that he doesn't have a beautiful technique in terms of throwing the ball or a nice tight spiral. I'm just saying, man, if I learned anything, unless your name is Tom Brady, you ain't going to win a Super Bowl with a 40-year-old. I think that's only happened one time, and that's when it was like with Trent Dilfer or some shit with the – was it Trent Dilfer? With the Baltimore Ravens. I've been supporting Marv Nation because they bring us fights. Fight fans like to watch boxing. Yeah, man. I like Marv Nation. I got nothing bad to say about them, bro. I like their content. I like what they do. And then the more the merrier when it comes down to promotional companies. And I like boxing. If there was boxing on Wednesday, I'd be watching boxing. If there was boxing on Tuesday, like Azteca Box on Telefutura or Telemundo, like I'm watching all that, bro. Like I remember watching fights on that, and my brother hit me up at like 2 a.m. Like, bro, they're still fighting. And I was tuned in. And then you would see a lot of those fighters carry over and having the titles, fight on ESPN and stuff. There's a lot of talent else everywhere. So the more boxing that's accessible, even better for me, man. So hopefully Marv Nation succeeds. And yeah, bro, I just hope they amount to really big things. Oh, what did I type? What did I type? Did you watch the on ESPN Plus? Did you watch the French fighter and Billy versus Desmond Nicholson, the one that went the distance with Demetrius Andrade? It was on ESPN Plus, I think on Saturday, a couple days ago. I'm not too sure if you watched it, but there's this guy named Billy. He's a 168 pounder. He's like 5'8", short and stocky like Canelo, and this guy throws mean punches, bro. Just throws a gang of punches, bro. Like he's a hooker, left hook, right hook, body shots to the body, to the head. Very creative. He's pretty good, man. And Billy, so that's probably a guy to look up. Because he just recently called out Canelo, but I would like Billy to fight David Morrell. I'd say why not? Or maybe even John Ryder, and then see kind of where he's at. And Billy also fought, I believe, in this year, a guy named Gongora. I think he's from like Ecuador. That's a really good fight. I like Gongora. He gave one of those Uzbekistan fighters a really good fight, and he upsetted one on PBC as well. But and Billy, he's really good, man. I've been noticing a lot of the French talent, like Tony Yoka, the gold medalist heavyweight, and Billy, and then obviously like Mbappe and like FIFA and soccer, they're tearing things up. So they have a good circuit of building athletes over there in France that I know they've always had when it came down to football. I know they've always done really good things building up their national soccer team, but I think now it's carrying over to boxing. They realize that, hey, man, we have a market here that we can tap and build fighters. And man, Zach Wilson, bro, what are you doing, dog? Oof, Rosso might have just jammed his finger. Probably when he tackled him. Bro, look at that hole if you just hand the ball off to Brees Hall, bro. Damn, that boy, I don't know, man. Zach Wilson, the quarterback from the Jets, bro, he has all the potential to be good. The athleticism, he's got a nice tight ball, but his awareness to the game, Yeah, bro. I mean, it's not easy to be an NFL quarterback in the NFL, let alone succeed. Oh, nice ball right there. Is that to Garrett Wilson? That a boy. It was. Got the first down, moving down, bro. Moving the chains. Ah, dude. But I'm just like, how can you be like 6'2" and like panic, man? That's a homie that needs to take boxing skills, Zach Wilson. Is he afraid to get hit? I know that's the reason why. He went up against who? Redford? Boom. Yeah, Garrett Wilson's nice, man. It's a good ass receiver. I think he won offensive player of the year last year. Yeah, AP offensive rookie of the year. Nice. Ooh, Dalvin Cook. And he's still rocking the 33, bruh. She. I don't know why the Minnesota Vikings let him go. I thought that was a big mistake. Addison Madison is a good running back, but he's not a primary dog. That's Dalvin Cook. And yeah, man, that was a big mistake. Let me volume this up a little bit so you guys can hear it. For some reason, Peyton Manning and Eli Manning are doing this split commentary, and I don't want to see that, man. Zach Wilson, 7 for 11, 60 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Nice little pass. Ooh, we got Brees Hall, little screen, 20-yard pickup. Shit. That's what I'm talking about, man. All right, all right. Hey, Vince, because I know that you're from San Jose. Did they close down Raging Waters? Because I saw like on a IG post that I guess like 2 weekends ago, Raging Waters was being closed. And I believe there was an article that like in 10 years or so that they were gonna close down Great America, and they're probably gonna be building like either like a hotel complex or some shit. Do you know anything about that? If you're still here, Vince. There you go, Dalvin Cook. That boy, bruh. That's what I'm talking about, man. But yeah, man. If those rumors are true that they closed down Raging Waters, I lived in my hometown, this area for the longest, and I've never been to Raging Waters, bro. So if they closed down, I really miss an opportunity to ever experience that. Water slides and all that. Sucks, bro. My girl's from Texas, and we have like in 2 weeks we're gonna go out to Dallas, Texas, where she was like born and raised, and have all her family there. And she was sending me a lot of stuff that what we can do over there. That's when this little mini vacation, and she's telling me how like they made it like a tourist place where they have like a bunch of festivities and arcades, and she says it used to be way different, and I wonder if they're doing the same thing with San Jose. But if you're trying to make it into a tourist place, San Jose has the best potential because it's huge. Why would you cancel out Raging Waters and build hotels, bro? Like, it makes no sense. And why would you try to like take down Great America? These places, they get crowded, and like a lot of people go to. I don't know, bro. I just feel like a lot of businesses are leaving California. I had a boy Dalvin. They're just leaving California and going elsewhere, like Hollywood. I think all of those studios are going to Atlanta from the Texas. San Francisco looks like shit. When I was going to school out there, um, bro, it's just horrible, man. There's so many vacated buildings. It's sad, bro. I don't know what the play is. Yeah, man. Yeah, Dalvin Cook looking good, man. He's looking good with that green and white. It looks good, man. But on that note, I think I said everything what I needed to say just for a little bit of a live. I was gonna stream the whole game, but I don't know. Kind of look a little blasé. But I'll see y'all to the next one, man. Have a good one, Vince. Thank you for coming in here, bro, and shooting the shit with me. But yeah, man, I need to see some of those RC collections, bro. I know that you said you're a hoarder and a big fan, and you collect them. Hey, man, maybe you got one on the market for sale. On that note, take care, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.